Hello and welcome to Talk a Good Game. It's match preview of Leeds United against West Ham United. Gonzo, as always, would you kindly kick us off with your thoughts on our opponents, please?
Yeah, but a club, massive club, huge club. Leeds are. They are like Newcastle, actually, just one of those. Not calling Newcastle a sleeping giant, but they're Newcastle dipped out of the Premier League for a while. Leeds, I would suggest Leeds probably took them 30 years to recover after Peter Ridsdale and all that type of stuff. But they are, going back to Don Revie and Rory Bremner in the team, and Andy Gray on the wing was excellent. So, I mean, excellent winger. So they had some magnificent players. Leeds were brilliant. And then they had, was about 25, 30 years ago under Ridsdale. They had some good Champions League team, Harry Kewell and Lee Bowyer and Jonathan Woodgate, and some really good Mark Viduka. I've forgotten about him. Some really good players there. Great
Ian
team.
Hart. You can't not mention Ian Hart. I loved Ian Hart.
Yeah, left back. Brilliant. They were poorly run. Got themselves into trouble, and actually, I think them and Portsmouth are two of the reasons why they are able to sneak all this nonsense in now, by the way, where football are pretending, we're going to take care of everybody to make sure no one does a Leeds or a Portsmouth. That's not what it's there to do. It's there to ring fence Manchester United and those sort of clubs and stop anyone else from sort of challenging and it puts a glass ceiling in there, basically. And now they look like they're coming back. They had a really rough time. They sold Elland Road, and then Ken Bates took over for a bit actually at Leeds. It's quite a story. I didn't prepare for any of this. It's just as I've started thinking about Leeds and all these things have started popping into my head. But they're a big club. They own the ground now that they're building. I think they've just built a new training complex. They've got plans to extend Elland Road, and they've had a half decent start to the season as well. So unlike some of the other teams on previous seasons, there's no certainty that Leeds will be going down. I know they'd be disappointed with the result against Burnley, but so I don't want to. It's not for me. I'm not a Leeds fan. It's not for me to hail Leeds as being back, but it's looking a lot better for them, isn't it? I know they've been promoted in between now and then, but now seems a little bit more solid. I don't know why, but it just seems a little bit more. The foundations seem a little bit more solid than before.
Yeah, I think their owners, because they're owned by like the 49ers and stuff, I think they're more reliable than previous owners they've had. And you spoke about the history. I'll speak about the modern history. I can't go as far back as you can, but they've had a little bit of fun with Bielsa. Well, they had a lot of fun under Bielsa, but like you said, they came up and then they went back down. And I do wonder how worried Leeds fans would have been when that relegation happened. Oh no, not again! This is it. Blah blah blah. But they've come back relatively quickly. They failed the first time of asking, came up this time round, and they've made an okay start so far. 8 points after 8 games. It's okay. Repeat it for the rest of the season. They'll stay up just. It'll be close, but they'll just do it. I've seen quite a lot of them this season, actually. Although they've only played 8 games, I had a quick look because I was thinking, I'm sure I've seen Leeds play quite a bit. When I had a look, 5 of their games I've seen already. 5 out of 8 I've seen. And I feel like they've been quite unlucky in quite a few of the games. Funny enough, they've been unlucky in the games I haven't watched, bar the Spurs one. I didn't see their game against Bournemouth, last minute equaliser. They conceded to draw that game. Didn't see their game against Fulham. They lost it in ridiculously weird circumstances in the last minute. A corner came in and sort of hit Goodmanson in the head and went in the back of the net, and Fulham won it in the 19 stoppage time later on. Against Spurs, 2 deflections, back in the net both times. So there is an element of bad luck there. I think they could think, hang on, we should have a couple more points on the board here. Admittedly, I had them as one of the trio to go down at the start of the season, but you're not really going on much, are you? Because I felt that whilst I think they've made some good signings, I thought they were lacking in their attacking options, and they signed Okafor quite late on. I think they signed him once the season had begun. So once I'd already thought, I think they'll get relegated, they then added Okafor, who's done all right so far, grabbed a couple of goals. But when I have watched them, especially against Burnley last weekend, I do watch them and think, you are just missing that bit of quality in the final third. Now, they were missing 3 wingers with Nonto Okafor and Dan James were out, so they had to play Harrison and Addison. Both of them missed big opportunity. Neither of them, I don't think, are good enough for the Premier League. I think they're okay as squad players, but when you've got to call upon them and rely upon them, I think that's where they're going to get tested a little bit. And I felt that's why they lost against Burnley. I think Burnley only had something like 3 touches in Leeds' box, but they won 2-0.
Yeah.
Something strange like that. There's a wonder goal that they scored. And I do just wonder if they're maybe lacking enough quality in that final third that's going to produce them enough goals. That's my biggest concern with Leeds. And also, I'm still unconvinced by Farke. I think his tactics have been okay. I think he was naive away to Arsenal. He sort of turned up and went toe-to-toe for the first half hour with Arsenal, which was a silly idea. But I felt like the games after that they were a bit more reserved, a little bit more switched on, and it had good results at Elland Road, beating Everton, drawing against Bournemouth, drawing against Newcastle. That's not a bad set of results, that. But I'm still unconvinced by him as well. Will they stay up?
No. Yes.
What made you change your mind in that 5 seconds?
I forgot about us.
So who was your 2 that you're thinking of alongside Leeds?
Burnley and Wolves.
Yeah. It does feel a bit like that at the minute, doesn't it? It's only 8 games, but it does feel a bit like Burnley, Wolves, and one other.
Yeah, either us or Leeds, probably. Yeah,
I
think Forest. That's probably done them.
Yeah,
good getting Dyche in.
Saying that, I think a lot of subscribers listening to this are saying, no, it's us, Burnley, and one other. Do you know what I mean? I think.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm not going to be beating a drum saying West Ham are staying up. No. Yeah, there you go.
If they do, I think it's going to be close either way. I think they're just going to go down or just stay up. If it wasn't for us being terrible, if we were sitting 9th right now, I'd say, I think they will.
Yeah,
but because of us right now, a bit like yourself, I think at this point I would say no. But it's said there's no confidence in my prediction, if that makes sense. It's on a little bit of a whim. Anything you'd like to add about Leeds before we talk about the players we admire?
Oh, I know. I just, it's hard. I don't want to. It's hard because I don't want to sit here and be gracious because I want to beat them, and I want them. If it's them or us, I want them to go down. So ordinarily, I'd probably say a lot nicer things about Leeds. I think they're such a big football club, a really strong football club with such rich history, big history. And I'd normally be saying probably something like, the Premier League's probably better with them in it, but I can't even think such things.
Well, I think it is, so I'll say that. I think the Premier League is better with them in it. I think Elland Road's a fantastic ground. I think their home fans are fantastic as well. And I think that's going to give them the edge over clubs like ourselves. Yeah, it is. It is.
Exactly.
Elland Road, Stadium of Light, and even Turf Moor, they're all better grounds than what we've got. And it generates a better atmosphere, and that helps their team a lot more. And I think the Premier League is a better place for having Leeds. And I enjoy seeing Leeds in the Premier League. And I think it's important, putting my claret and blue specs down into one side, it's important a minimum of 1 promoted team stay up this year in terms for the competition of the Premier League. But if we can get 2, even better. And if all 3 all 3 promoted teams can stay up, fantastic for the Premier League. Having that change, having that freshness, and it's not the same 17 plus 3 promoted team. We don't want that. We moan when the top 4 is a closed shop or whatever, but we can't then want the top 17 to be a closed shop. We have to have change. We have to have competition. We have to have teams playing in the Premier League getting relegated, and we have to have teams coming up and staying up, because for the next 3 that's coming up, at the minute, the Championship, there's a long, long way to go, but the Championship at the moment doesn't have any of the relegated teams at the top of it. Leicester, Southampton, Ipswich, they're struggling. At the top, you've got the likes of Coventry, Millwall, Stoke. It's important there.
Lost business.
I know. I imagine you just know it, don't you? We go down, play
Millwall.
What do you mean Millwall's coming up? Never mind then. We don't even get that one. But they've got to have hope. If whoever gets promoted has to think, do you know what? We're going to have to spend 150 million, but if we do it right, we've got a chance of staying up. And it's down to the 3 promoted teams to give them that hope. And Leeds, Sunderland at the minute are doing it, in Burnley. it's unlikely they'll do it, but they're certainly not out of it at this point. Final question on Leeds. Players you admire?
I like Joe Rodon. You said Nonto. I'd forgotten all about him. I liked him. He's quick as pants, that one. We got problems. If they played Nonto, perhaps he's injured. If they played Nonto and Dan James.
Back in training. He's been injured. I think this is part of Leeds' problem. They've got a lot of half-fit players, and I think Nonto's one of them. He's been out, but I think he's back in training now.
Yeah, well, Nonto and Dan James about as quick as it gets.
He's also back in training.
Yeah, tear us a new one, those two would. I think Dan James played at Swansea with Rodon, possibly. I think he did. The guy that is it named Ampadu?
Yeah,
used to play for Chelsea.
Correct.
What they have are a lot of players who were tipped to do great things. So they've got Bogle at right back. We've got the ex-Derby guy. Yeah, he was tipped for big things. He was meant to be the next big. He was the previous Max Aarons actually. Or he was the next. He was just tipped to do big things. Ampadu tipped to do big things, so that they've got potential there.
Sean Longstaff, Newcastle fan, said he was better than Declan Rice.
Declan Rice, he was tipped to do good. I mean, good long range of passing. Actually, scored a good goal this season. Actually, I think if I remember rightly. So yeah, they've got some. Okafor, you said, looks like a decent player as well. It was interesting to watch the Harrison thing actually, because I think he left, he jumped ship, and he was really. I think he got a bit of a slagging off from Leeds fans if I got this right. Then he came back, so they've had to forgive him a little bit. He scored a hat-trick against us. That's the same player, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, they haven't got any world beaters, but they've got players with potential there.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to seeing Tanaka in the Premier League and haven't really seen him much. His minutes have been quite sparse coming off the bench, but he was one of my favourite players in the Championship. I like him as a footballer. I'm a big fan of him. Goodmanson came in at left back in the summer. He's been one of the ones that's impressed me the most in Leeds' purchase of the Giants, if you like. I've liked what I've seen from him. You know, Firpo was a bit of a disaster when he was last in the Premier League, but I actually think he turned into quite a solid left back. And then when he left, it felt like a bit of a blow, actually. And I think Goodmanson's actually been a very astute purchase. But the player I'm going to pick out, he's not been very good recently, is Antoine Stack. He's one of my favourite summer signings from any Premier League clubs. I'm a big fan of him. I always seen him as like a proper number 6, but he's been playing a bit more advanced for Leeds, almost as like a number 8, getting forward a little bit. And the last couple of games I've seen, I feel like he's been a little bit underwhelming, but I think he's been playing with sore ribs, so I don't know if that's the reason for it, but certainly capable of hitting a set piece very nicely as well, whether it's corners or free kicks. Scored a free kick against Wolves, but I'm a big fan of Stack. And while Calvert-Lewin's great name for a striker, I do worry about him for this game, given we were conceding a lot of set pieces and crosses against Brentford, and they just weren't taking them. But with Calvert-Lewin in the air, don't know. I'm not his biggest fan, and I think he's always going to break down injured at some point. But what he also will do is, when he's fit, is cause you problems if you can get the ball into him, and that worries me. And I think Rodon's been in good form attacking set pieces for Leeds, and Wales scored against Germany too. Enough about Leeds. Shall we talk about West Ham?
Yeah.
Let's start with some team news. I tuned into the buffering press conference earlier, but Nuno confirmed Mavropanos is due to go for a scan. He's still not had one. I don't know why, considering the game was 2 days ago. He's still not had his scan yet, but he's going to have a scan. But he's certainly ruled out for this one. And somewhat alarmingly, when he was asked about the Leeds game, Nuno said, we haven't prepared for it yet. It's Wednesday. The game's on Friday. Bit worrying, but I think he then tried to basically I think he was just keeping his cards close to his chest. I think it was his way of saying, I'm not telling you. But he basically said, we've not prepared for the match yet. So no Mavropanos, no Fulkrug. Well, we don't think there's any Fulkrug, and there's no George Earthy either. The under-21s playing last night, and George Earthy was not in the team, so he's not close to returning yet. So apart from that, Gonzo, you can have anyone you wish. And just as a reminder for everyone, or heads up for any new people to the channel, this is the teams we would like to see, not the team we think Nuno will do. As we discovered on Monday night, very often two completely different things. Right, goalkeeper, defence, what would you like? We've got big calls all over the pitch to make here.
Yeah, I've come prepared. I've written stuff down for this one. I'm playing a 3-something in this game.
Right. Okay.
All right. So Areola, I'm not kicking him out of goal. I'm not asking him to do any kicking anyway.
I was wondering if Walker Peters was in goal. I'm looking forward to seeing where Walker Peters features on
Oh,
your
I'm
team.
glad. I'm glad you are. We'll get to that.
We've got a vacancy up front, so I'm just wondering if.
Well, you know where he's going to play. Surely it's obvious now. So I'm playing 3 central defenders. The right centre back is going to be Alan Wan-Bissaka. The centre back is actually going to be Igor. I don't know. He might be crap, right? But let's be fair. Whoever's going in next to Wan-Bissaka is going to be crap anyway, right? So this is blind hope. It's not even faith because it's to have faith. You have to believe. I don't believe. This is blind.
I don't know. I think
hope.
that's why it's called blind faith, because
Okay, maybe
you don't have any evidence for it.
Yeah. Just blind foolishness. Let's go with that.
Okay, we'll go with that. Well, I don't think you need blind. I think it's just foolishness.
So Igor, just foolishness. And then Max Kilman to play as the left centre back. That's as good as I've got, mate. What you got?
I'm going to stick with the back four. Wan-Bissaka, right back. Juve, left back. And listen, he's not the best defender in the world, okay? And they might play Dan James. They might risk him. I think he's a bit closer than Gnonto, and I think Okafor might be risked. But there's also a possibility that he's up against Addison, who I'm going to call it. I think he's, and it's not Leeds' first choice right winger. This is based on the teams that were out last weekend. The worst right winger in the league. Well, he is. He's not Leeds' first choice right winger. He's their. I would argue he's not even their second choice right winger.
That's a good title for a video. The worst right winger, and at least put it on Tartan Geo.
No, I'm not doing that because I'll encourage a load of hate. So Juve has he's got to play this game. We need him going forward. I know you're going to include him as well, but we need him. So he's in at left back. Kilman is in just due to lack of options, right? And I've seen him have a good game under Nuno.
Yep.
And I've seen him have an average game under Nuno and a crap game under Nuno, right? So we need more. I think we need to hire Gary O'Neill as Kilman's coach, right? He needs to be on the touchline just shouting at Kilman for 90 minutes. Next to him, I'm also doing a little bit of blind faith. I'm putting Magassa in there. Now, I've never seen Magassa as a centre-back, okay? But I understand he used to play there. I understand he's playing there a lot for Monaco and French youth team and stuff like that. Yep. Now, if we had signed Magassa, and I was told and I was informed by people with more knowledge than me, this guy's a really good centre-back, I would have wanted him in at centre-back before today, right?
Yes.
But because I've seen him play defensive midfielder, my mind is basically saying he's now a central midfielder. But actually, he used to be a centre-back.
Yes.
So I'm going to put him in there. That's why I'm going to go Magassa in there, because I don't want to see Todibo. I'm not eager to see Igor. That was a good one, but I messed it up a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's good.
We've got no man for Panos, so I'm going to put Magassa at the back. Talk me through your wing backs as well as your central midfield then, Gonzo.
Well, we got Mr. Walker Peters. It's going to be the right wing back. And also, Magic Juff is going to be at left wing back. I've put him at wing back because that was some horrendous defending. And I just think it mitigates that by having a back three, and it puts all these good stuff, all these good qualities, and it becomes a threat, to deliver those crosses over. So that's what I'm going. That's what I'm going for.
And what are you doing in midfield in between your wing backs?
I'm going for Magassa and Potts as my central midfielders. So I don't know whatever formation this is, a 3-4-1-2 maybe. Might call it that. 3-4-2-1. Let's go 3-4-2-1 or 3-4. Whatever. I don't care.
It is a 3-4-2-1, isn't it?
Yeah.
Would you like to give me your 2 number 10s then?
Yes, Fernandez and Somerville.
Okay.
And I've got Jared Bowen up front.
So you're dropping our Brazilian.
I am dropping the Brazilian. Yeah, absolutely. I just couldn't see any room for him in my formation, and because it was the driving force was the extra defender and not having Juff at left wing back, but I still want to keep hhis creativity. And once you do that, once you've gone with the 3 at the back, you quickly come to the conclusion that there's no room for Paqueta in your team. And I just think we need the energy, and we need the youth in midfield actually to try and get this. And so I think Magassa with Potts and Fernandez. I've got to be honest with you. I would even
please do.
I'll try. NGL. I'm not going to lie. As they say, as the youngsters say. She's testing me. Jessie's testing me. My daughter tests me on this stuff now. The OG. I found out about the OG recently, by the way. If you don't know.
Well, I tend to use FFS a lot. I certainly use it on Monday night when the teams come out.
That's fine. I think that's FFS is almost old school. Do you know years ago when they first started doing the text, like LOL?
Yeah.
I used to think it meant lots of love.
I think it could mean that.
Oh man, these people are very familiar with me. Everyone's feeling very affectionate.
Is that why you always used to send LOL to me? Because you thought it meant lots of love?
Always.
I used to send you a joke and you say lol, but actually what you were saying was, I love you loads, Gio. Thanks for that joke.
Beautiful. What am I talking about? There was Paqueta. Yeah, he's gone.
Right. Well, while you were doing that, I was quickly introducing a new feature to the preview show. You ready?
Oh yeah, we all are. Hello. This is from his morning video.
Yeah, it is. I've got the tactics board up so people could see a visual representation of what you're wanting to see at Elland Road. Have I got that right? Ariel and goal, back three, Wamzaka, Igor Kilman.
Can we drop Fernandez back a touch, please? So he's almost on the tip of the circle. Yeah. A bit more central, please, mate, if you wouldn't mind. Thank you. Can we?
Are you happy with Fernandez touching your tip there?
That's beautiful. Can we take Bowen and can we just move Bowen down the screen a little bit? No more forward, but down a little bit there. Okay. And Somerville just a little bit more forward, please. Yeah, that's the So that's what I call the Connect 4 attack. That one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's your team. That's
what I'm after.
Brilliant. Right then. Well, I'll talk you through my midfield. We already know my defence.
Yeah.
I'm not playing Igor. Magassa's at the back with Kilman and Juve. Potts is also in my team. He's gonna come into centre midfield. I'm not going to play Kyle Walker-Peters right wing. Sorry to disappoint you, Gonzo.
No, he's got to play him up front.
So I've got my Potts. I'm going to put Fernandez in the number 10 role. I'm a bit like yourself here. I want to unlock him.
Yeah.
I want to unlock Fernandez. He's not been good.
No.
Good half against Nottingham Forest. Out of position, but good half. And I want to see us try and get the best version out of Fernandez. Can he bring the creativity? Can he link up the midfield and attack? Can he link up Bowen and Somerville? And I think he can. But I don't think he can do it with the way we are deploying him. So we're going to need to change. We're going to make big changes to get the best out of him. So I'm going to pop him there. And I'm also dropping Lucas Paqueta. I'm going to have Bowen where I think is his best position on the right. I'm going to put Somerville in what I think is his best position. That leaves two more. So I'm going to bring in Callum Wilson. I think he's down here somewhere. Have they not made a counter to Callum Wilson?
We don't have to pay him if you click on him, do we?
I mean, I'm not. Maybe. I'm sure
they're just losing the sponsor and all.
Have they not? Yeah, there it is. I'm going to play Callum Wilson, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm desperate. I think we need a striker. And Leeds have a really big, strong, physical team. They went out and bought 6'5" players for a reason because of the physicality of the Premier League. They thought, let's make sure we do not get beaten physically. Let's make sure we do not get bullied. And that has remained true. I haven't seen them get bullied by a team yet. I think there's a potential that they're going to play their new centre-back. We've not seen him yet. Bijol. I think they signed him from Udinese. I think he's 6'5". So I think there's calls for him to come in and play next to Joe Rodon. So he might come in. I watched Marshall struggle against big Brentford centre-back. I don't want to see it again. So Wilson gets an opportunity for me. And I'll be honest with you, Gonzo, that final spot in midfield, I don't know.
I do.
What?
Stick Kante in there. That'd be fun. He's a big boy.
Oh, he can go in there. Listen, the options are him, Thomas Souček, and that's probably about it, really. It's process elimination. I don't want to see Paqueta this deep in midfield, and I don't want to see Fernandez back there. So Paqueta's out of the team for me as well. McGassa and Potts feels like a good duo. I like what you've done, but it's almost picking between Todibo and one of these two. And I think I'd go with one of them two. I think I'd maybe start Souček. And he was crap against Brentford. I'm not going to say he wasn't. But I think a lot of the players were crap against Brentford.
It's true.
And I think we didn't use Souček correctly against Brentford. I didn't see him in the box. I didn't see him.
No.
So we're going to play him. You've got to get him in there. He has to get in the box. Yes. And I think Potts next to him allows us to do that, get him in the box. So maybe that's what I would do. I've just decided on the spot that I'll put Souček there. So anyway, that's enough of the tactics board. That's
I don't know. I don't know if you can ever have enough of the tactics board. I quite enjoy the tactics board.
Yeah, so I thought I'd try it because sometimes people say, "Can we have a bit of a layout? Can we see what you're doing?" And I think, I can't be arsed editing that in Photoshop afterwards. But this is a way of skipping the editing.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. We just need some different names. I was saying, I'm not a fan of the double pivot and all the rest of it. So we just need some different original tactical names.
Before the Newcastle game, I've got features on the tactics board that allows you to draw arrows and squares and circles. So if you want to get crafty, I'll try and understand what you mean, and we'll start drawing over the top of your.
I'll probably draw a penis and do something juvenile like that. To be honest with you.
We can do that when we play Spurs if you want.
We can go with a double bollock in midfield. Lovely, yeah.
We can go for that. Anyway, while you're here, just before we talk about how optimistic we're feeling ahead of the game, just want to point you in direction of our Patreon. Patreon is the best way to support Hammers Chat. We've got three ways. We've got three revenue streams at Hammers Chat. We've got the adverts that you watch on YouTube. Sorry about that. We've got the brand deals. Don't have much of that at the minute. And we've also got Patreon. All three are important. You take away one of those revenue streams, we can't do this as a job. Now, for some of you, you'll be thinking, excellent, I'm not joining Patreon, do one. But for those that think, actually, do you know what? I appreciate you two putting content up every single day on YouTube, on both channels, for free. And you've been doing YouTube for 10 years now. So you deserve £3.60 of my money every single month. So if you fancy that, you can do it. Even if you don't want additional content, there's additional content, but even if you don't want it, I'll give you two reasons. One, prediction competition every single game. The prize is up for grabs for this game in particular. It's based around Julian Dix. So we've got a Julian Dix shirt signed, Julian Dix print signed, and we've got a signed Jimmy Walker book. Depending on what tier you subscribe to, depends on what prize you grab. But also we do a monthly giveaway as well. Anyone that joins in Patreon or is a member of Patreon already in the month of October, so you must join before the end of October. We've got 6 prizes, but the top 2 prizes, number one is this Obiang shirt signed by Obiang. This is the shirt West Ham United used when announcing Obiang's contract extension. We think there's only one of them in the world. They may have done 2, but West Ham are quite cheap. I'd be surprised if they did 2. And there's extra numbers on here. They say, hang on a minute, 4 numbers. Oh, we only need one of them. Signed. Someone on Patreon is getting this. And we've also got a pair of Adrian's goalkeeping gloves, which I'm 90% certain they're match worn. I'll just need to double check that they were match worn. Either these or Fabianski's are match worn, and I'm pretty sure it's these ones, but they're both signed by him as well. A Patreon will be winning these. The best way to join, go to patreon.com/Hammers Chat. Links in the description below, links in the pinned comments, or just Google it, Hammers Chat Patreon, and you'll find myself and Gonzo over there chatting more nonsense. Gonzo, big game.
It's huge.
For both teams. For both teams.
Yeah, but more for us.
Yeah.
It's just huge. We need to win this because at the moment we all think we're getting relegated. Most people I speak to think we're getting relegated, and we could do even how low is the bar gone?
Yeah,
we could do with just maybe thinking that we might not be. That would help.
I'm not sure a win does that.
Well,
some people. I can only speak for myself here.
I think if you can go and win at Elland Road, which is going to be tough as hell, you might think, well, maybe there's a chance. At the moment, I'm almost looking at thinking there's no chance.
Fair. Yeah,
there's no chance because there would be 2 things that would have happened. Nuno would have learned from that ridiculous thing that he did. Whatever he should have had our tactics board. Quite frankly, whatever he was planning didn't work out.
Tactics board malfunction. So you can't do that. What are you doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So it would show that he's learned from that. It would show that he's gonna, play his best players in their correct positions and all of that stuff. That actually during the week he's built a cohesive tactic, and a strategy that can go into this game. That would give us some belief because we'd say, okay, right, whatever. There's a left back, a right back, a right back, and etc. etc. And to win the game would give us some belief that actually, okay, maybe we can stumble to January. Now, if we stumble to January, then the board have got to play their part. Now, don't get this. They've got us in this mess by all the hirings and firings and ridiculous stuff that's happened up to now. But for right now, from now until then, it's a manager issue. This is for the manager to deal with. I would just give you enough belief to think, okay, if we can get there still in touch, then it's then up to the board, and then there'll be no excuse, right? Whatever it is, whatever money you've got, use your own money. You just sort this out. Go and back that guy. I don't care. Listen. I don't care. Just spend £100 million in a bloody transfer in January, or whatever it is you need to do. Because if you don't, that asset that you think is worth 800 million, you're going to find is worth 200 million. All right, so you might as well spend the money now. This is really, really important. We don't want to be cut adrift by then. That's so pathetic. But all I ask at the moment is that we would not cut adrift by January. That's the way I'm feeling about it.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said there. Actually, I think what I was getting at was Monday night did a lot of damage for my hopes. And my hopes were to stay up. It's not hopes of qualifying for European football or nothing. It's hopes of just finishing 17. And the damage Monday's done cannot be repaired against Leeds United. We could go there and win 2-3-0, put a fantastic performance, and I will enjoy it. And like you said, it will give me a little bit of, oh, can we do this? But I will not go back to the levels of comfort I had pre-Brentford. That game has really hurt me and really scared me, actually. Now, I don't think you're going to know this. I'm going to tell you. Do you know that Nuno's got a new member of his coaching staff?
Well, as you know, I've been driving all day.
That's why I didn't think you know. Gonzo's been to see Bubbles and Bill Garner today. The video's on the Forum channel tomorrow, or if you're watching this on Thursday, it's already up. Go watch it. But he's got one of his coaching staff now. It's the goalkeeping one, Rui Barbosa, who was at Nottingham Forest. So there's something happening here. Whether he's been sacked and we've got him, whether he's quit and we've got him, or whether we've paid for him. It's one of the three. But he's got one of his coaching staff now. So this is slightly promising. And we just need some more. We need more. We need to go get the other two now. But
that is good. That is good.
Smidgen of something's happening. Nuno's press conference, while I couldn't hear everything he said because the audio cut off at one point and it was buffering, the stream jumped more than we do at set pieces. But the bits I did catch, I quite liked it, actually. I liked the cut of his jib, speaking about how we've got to improve individually, about Paqueta. What does Paqueta need? If he needs more pace ahead of him, let's get more pace in the team. Now, I think he's going to come stuck when he looks at the team. He goes, oh, bloody hell, there isn't any to put in front of him. But I like it. There was some of the cliches, but there was some bits in there. Basically, we're going to get out of this just because of Nuno. And I think that's why I was scared on Monday, because we lost because of Nuno. Because of the players as well, but Nuno did not help. I want to see a team lineup that comes out on Friday that says, we can win this. I want to see a performance that says, we will win this, and we've got to get 3 points. Are you feeling optimistic?
No, not at all. But I'd be so grateful to him if he could help out a bit. I was going to say I'd do anything. I wouldn't quite. I'd bake him a cake or something. I'd be so pleased if he could. But I don't believe it. He mentioned. It obviously wasn't this press conference, but I guess it was the post match. A lot of what he said about the fans was twisted, by the way. Let me just say that I don't think he was blaming the fans at all. And I think if you listen to the whole entirety of what he said, one of the things he did say was we need to give them something.
He said that in today's one as well.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, he was reiterating that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that would be nice. Yes, please, Mr. Espirito Santo, because I've lost me faith. I really have. So I could really do with something, some injection of confidence. And that is just for results. I'm so far away from that. It was awful. The football was awful. But I would suffer crap football. It's not even I don't even care at the moment. Listen, we'd have to, if we played crap and we won 1-0, we'd obviously come on a review and say, look, we created no chances and scored a goal.
Yeah, you call it as you see it.
Of course. But ultimately, I don't care. So if he could do that, if he could instill and he could give us something to believe in, that would be great. But at the moment, Gio, I can't see it. I have no faith at all, and obviously unexpectedly, I will predict us to lose this game.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It's hard. I've found myself lying to myself in the last 24 hours, almost like, do you know what? If we beat Leeds, we're back on track. And I think, but what are you doing to me, brain? Because I don't even believe we're going to beat Leeds. So why are you playing this mental gymnastic? My brain's just doing this mental gymnastics with itself to almost try and force hope upon myself. Because I always think if you don't have hope as a football fan, what have you got? You should have some. And it's relative to your club. Leeds fans should have hope of staying up. Arsenal fans should have hope of winning the title. Newcastle fans should have hope of qualifying for Champions League football again, winning another trophy. And if you don't have that, it's quite grim being a football fan, regardless of who you support. It is quite a sad existence because football is an escape from reality. It's an escape from real life. So you want to enjoy it. You want to switch off from real life and enjoy that 90 minutes. But if you've got no hope, if you're already relegated, but you win a game of football, you can't really enjoy the win, can you? Because ultimately, the end game is the net result's still the same. And while there's 30 games left, so there's a long part of the season left. We don't win this one. We're fast winning out of winnable fixtures. And I wouldn't class this as a winnable fixture. I think this is a game that I would say if you get a draw at Elland Road, you've done all right. But because of the circumstances we find ourselves in, until we put points on the board, every game has to become a winnable fixture. And I don't think that's possible. And that's what's quite scary here. And I agree with you. I think when it comes to cup competitions, I always separate cup and league games. Cup games, you get the win, and doesn't matter how. Who cares? Who cares? Do you think Greek fans were arsed that they defended their way to winning the Euros? They don't care. No one cares. When Mourinho won trophies with Inter Milan, just defending their way to Champions League title, they didn't care. No one thinks, oh yeah, you might have won, but you remember the football? It was pretty bad, weren't it? The league, yes, entertaining the 38 in the cup. Just get your name in the next round. I've already flipped here. We've got 30 cup finals left. We've got 30 cup fixtures left here. The method don't matter. It's just the result. Sometimes you can take playing well but losing because you go, it was entertaining. We were a bit unlucky. We can't afford that anymore. There's no entertaining and be unlucky. We can't do that now. We now need to just win at all costs, no matter what it is. It's all about the results for me, and we can deal with the whole mess in the summer. It's just making sure that when that final whistle goes on the last game of the season, we're still a Premier League club. That is now the sad ambition of this football club. As I say, it started against Brentford, and it's horrible. We need to restart against Leeds on Friday night. Gonzo, any final words in your all-important score prediction, which I may or may not have on my bit of paper here?
Yeah, I just think it's going to be really, really tough. We were completely and utterly bullied against Brentford. I'm assuming he's going to completely change the team. You just have to. You couldn't watch that and think that anything other than we were completely dominated. It almost doesn't matter what his reasoning was for doing that. Sometimes you just do something stupid, and then and hopefully you don't do it again. All right. That's I've just got to put it down to that, really. I suspect they're going to be. I suspect we'll still be bullied, though. I expect they'll be too strong, and depending on their selections, they'll probably be too fast. And I don't really know how it's come to this, that we've managed to scrabble together such a poor, just a group of players that are so poorly suited to Premier League football. It seems we do have some good players in there, though. And I think the inclusion of, I'm not just saying actually shirts up there, but I honestly think he's our best athlete. I do think the inclusion of Wan-Bissaka is going to be important because he will give us that. He will fight for everything. And I think if you can mitigate Juff's defending, I think then he will also bring that as well. And then it comes to the case of, right, can you sort out midfield and and can you sort out the defence? Well, quite possibly. We can certainly improve it from that game against Brentford, but it's a tough place to go. Elland Road is tough. You talk about the cup. If they were still a championship team and we'd drawn Leeds at Elland Road in the cup, it would be bloody tough. It's going to be tough anyway. They're going to scrap. Even then, it's not like one of those grounds where you can go there and think, "Oh, get an early goal and we'll quieten the crowd." You probably won't. They're noisy. So, yeah, I just think they're going to win, and I think they're going to win 2-0.
Oh, I went 1-0. And I put a little FML on it for you.
What's FML?
Fuck my life.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Well, there you go. I've taught you one.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, I'm glad I am glad my 11-year-old daughter didn't teach me that one. for both reasons, about how hopefully she doesn't feel that about her life, and hopefully she's not swearing at me.
I agree with you actually. What you said there, and I thought you were going to go on and finish it. Well, we did finish in your opinion, but I thought there was a bit more to come, which was you said we can fix the defence in midfield. I was waiting for you to say, but I don't think he can fix the attack.
Oh, I was I thought it. Yeah, you're right. I was just about to say that. Yeah,
because I was agreeing with everything, including the assumption you were ready to say, but he can't sort the attack. Because I think he could sort the defence out for Friday. I think he could sort the midfield out for Friday. I'm not sure he can. What is the options up front? Every suggestion anyone brings up, there's an issue.
Yeah.
Callum Marshall, too small, inexperienced. Next, Jared Bowen. All right, now who plays on the right? Guilherme? You're just moving the problem, that's all. Who else can we play up front? Paqueta, he was crap against Brentford up front. Josh Landers? Are we into complete punt? Callum Wilson up front. All right, too slow. I know I picked him, but it's not an easy and obvious pick. He's too slow. And also, he ain't going to do 90 minutes, so it's a guaranteed sub off the pitch at some point. Now, if he goes out there and scores and puts us 1 or 2-0 up before it goes off, brilliant, job done. But I ain't got that confidence. I ain't confident we're going to score. This is my score prediction. I think there's a bit of a blueprint to play against West Ham. Cross it. And while we've stopped conceding from crosses under Nuno, apart from against Everton, but he'd only been here 2 days. Not even 2 games, 2 days. Leeds will be looking at that thinking, oh, hello, we'll fancy a little bit of that. Calvert-Lewin is better than Thiago in the air. I think Calvert-Lewin is better than Gyökeres in the air. He's much better than Gyökeres in the air, and he's much better than Beto in the air as well. We're way to come up against the best striker in the air under Nuno's tenure so far. We're going to get tested to see if we fix this. And no matter what centre-back pairing he picks, Kilman, Igor, Todibo, Igor, I ain't confident they're winning the fair share. I think Mavpanos is one of the better ones in the air at the club. He's out. I'm going to go 1-0 Leeds, sadly. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. Please get involved in the comments. Drop a like on the preview if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to Hammers Chat. And if you don't mind supporting Hammers Chat, please head over to patreon.com/Hammers Chat. Myself and Gonzo would really appreciate your support. And you can get involved in the prediction competition, and you will automatically be in the bowl of destiny to win the Obiang signed shirt, the Adrian signed gloves, and there's 4 other prizes as well. Thank you very much for joining us, myself and Gonzo. Catch you in a bit.